The second of our special reports from Italy with 96-year-old veteran Walter Nixon from Suffolk. It's the first time he's been back to the beach at Anzio since he went ashore during World War II in 1944. It was called Operation Shingle, part of the Italian campaign. There was intense fighting and heavy losses on both sides.
Walter, who lives at East Bergholt, never had a passport but got one just before heading out for the trip, organised by the Royal British Legion. Our cameraman John Fairhall and reporter Kevin Birch have travelled with him.
Yesterday, Walter wept at the sight of 2,000 graves of men he never knew. Today, the sadness welled again over one specific individual who's been on his mind for the past 75 years, Captain Arthur Templeton West, an officer he came to know and admire, and whose body he had to retrieve after he was killed by a bomb blast beside him.
I helped him lift him out of the trench.
So sudden, so close.
It was only yards away from me, and I helped to get him out. And this is why he stands in my memory more than anyone else. Lovely man. I'm honoured to be able to come back and pay my respects.
The captain died on April the 12th, 1944. He was 30. Lying close by at the Anzio Beachhead Cemetery, his Batman, Gunner Stanley Salt, who died alongside him. He was 20.
They shall grow not old, as we that left grow old. Age shall not weary them. The years are condemned. As the going down in the sun and in the morning, we will remember them. We will remember them.
Once again, they paused to remember in unison in the rain, with readings from Walter's son Keith and grandson Paul.
When you go home, tell them of us and say, for their tomorrow we gave our today.
From the cemetery to the Beachhead Museum in Anzio, a reminder of the scale of battle, the sacrifices made, the bravery of the men who fought so long and so hard. A rare breed in the eyes of tall leader Peter McClelland and first Juliana Iotti from the museum.
Freedom and democracy are not toys you can give as a present, and we have to fight every day to keep our freedom in Europe. I owe to them, the strength to remember, to remind us what's the price of freedom.
Wouldn't we all be in the same position? Seeing a man he pulled out of the trenches, he remembers clearly the incident, the bombs falling, and then finding them dead. And all of these have got memories exactly the same as that. So we're in the business of remembrance, and in the business of healing and helping and looking after our veterans, and they deserve absolutely nothing less.
There's a beach down there.
For Walter, finally, the spot which matters most, Peter Beach at Anzio. When the ramp on the landing craft went down, he drove his vehicle onto the shore as fast as the deep sand would allow, urged on by someone yelling.
He was waving his arms around. Come on, come on, come on. Keep going, keep going. Don't stop, keep going. I said, all right, mate.
That someone was Dennis Healy, Beachmaster then, but Labour MP years later. And incredibly, their paths would cross again in Ipswich in 1992 during the election campaign. Back at the beach today, the drop down was more severe than Walter could remember, so it was left to son Keith and grandson Paul to tackle the steps and fetch some sand, while this incredibly humble man was left to reflect on the importance of this moment.
It's hard to imagine what it was like at 2:30 in the morning, but I'm sure that wasn't anything like this, and that wasn't so peaceful as this. That's extraordinary that I should be able to come back, and that's a wonderful experience for me.
An extraordinary story.
Yeah.